Greetings, Minecrafters, and welcome to another Minecraft discussion on this glorious day. This is Kimberly Quinn, and I'm up at the notch with little G. He likes to call Giovanni's notch. That's his title for it. Anyway, it's absolutely beautiful today. And today, I'm just very spontaneously inspired. Yes, I'm snowshoeing, so that's what the crunch you hear. It's really warm, so it's just gorgeous. So, yeah, so I'm here to talk about today about just relax. You might say, oh, that sounds so cheesy. Okay, here's the thing. I've also been inspired by what happened to me last night with my YouTube channel, actually, which I'll get to in a minute. But, you know, Oprah's been, it's been very serendipitous because Oprah was just saying, I think Abraham Hicks was, I listen to people all the time and read constantly, of course, Wayne Dyer, and they're all saying, Oprah was saying it to me this morning, just relax, because here's the thing, we get, you know, in the winter of our lives, right? In the winter of our lives, I like to think I'm in the fall of my life, actually. Early fall, let's call it that. Anyway, when you get to the winter of our lives, we look back, you know, what would you say if you were writing a letter from your 80 or 90-year-old self, or, you know, your 100-year-old self, to your now 30, 40, 50, or 60-year-old self? What would you say? You know what I mean? And I actually use this exercise in a I actually haven't taught developmental psych in a really long time, but what I did, I used to do an exercise like that where they did it the reverse because they're all younger, but they're writing, you know, all along the way. Then when they got to the older self, I had it in blocks. They wrote exactly that, like, what would you tell your 5-year-old self or your teenager self? And so much of the time, the theme, even with these young adults writing this, so much of the time the theme was, it's all going to be okay. And also, I occasionally teach at CCV, the Community College of Vermont, and those tend to be, there's a lot of quote-unquote non-traditional students, so they did the exercise too. So I'd have some 30 or 40 or 50-year-olds in there, and they said the same thing. Tell yourself it's all going to be okay. And, you know, the thing is, life is not an emergency. There are moments when it can be. You know, you get that horrible phone call. We don't even want to put it out there right now, but, you know, it can be life-changing and things like that. But those are the exception and not the rule. In fact, life's not even an urgency, really, most of the time. And it really is all going to be okay. So I'll tell you what happened last night. It's been going on actually for a few weeks. With my YouTube channel, there's a really ridiculous little tech thing. It's like not deep. It's just an issue with an email in this system. I don't know. It was just dumb. Anyway, so it was coming down to I was going to have to start over from scratch. It's a little over a year old, and thanks to all of you wonderful listeners and viewers, it's got several 100,000 views on it. Thank you to all of you for spending your life minutes in this way. And so I asked all these brainies. I was reaching out to all these lots of brainy friends who are, you know, good at all that computer stuff, which is just not my forte, not my cup of tea, not my enchilada, you know what I mean? And so I'm like, how is it that, like, it's 2022 and there's no way to fix this? It's like ridiculous. I got to start all the way over, you know, and then blah, blah, blah. And so I bit the hook for a short minute because it was going on for a couple weeks and it just was looking like it wasn't going to get better. And I'm saying to myself, there's got to be a solution. I just can't see it. So I had a little moment of flip out. I was also tired. Then I recentered myself. So here's the good thing that I'm trying to share with you. It's like, so I thought to myself, even though I wasn't feeling it, it was like a talk through. Okay, breathe. Somehow there's a blessing in this. I don't know what it is, because right now it seems like a nightmare. But there is a blessing in this, and it's all going to be okay. And then just this morning, it all turned around. And we figured out how to move everything over. And my daughter created a new, beautiful because she knows how to do all that, new YouTube channel. So I'm actually going to put it's all the same. So if you go to the old one, it's going to feed you to the new one anyway. Well, maybe that's not true. Anyway, I'm going to put the link underneath so you can do it that way. But it all worked out as a blessing because now it's even better. It's actually even better. And I'm like, how? You know, for a minute, if I didn't like recenter, I could have really like lost it there. You know what I mean? And obviously, there are far bigger problems than a glitch with a YouTube channel. So was not my point. My point is that this is the everyday, right? When the big stuff happens, that's the exception. That bad phone call or that, you know, that horrible illness. The rest of the time, it's this kind of thing, right? And it's just not. It's not an emergency. it's not even an urgency to need to be dealt with. Yeah, but, and I actually centered, I actually really centered. This is going to come out well. I don't know how at this minute. And then that was it. And I woke up this morning and it just was like this wave. And then the other lesson in this that I wanted to share with you today is that whole detaching thing we've talked about. And our daughter's got a thing going on right now with positions at work and stuff. And I said, here's the thing, because we're going through this both last night at the same time. I said, it's when we detach from the outcome. When we really has to be real, like and genuine. When we detach from whatever it is that's frustrating us. You want this position, somebody else got it. Your YouTube channel that has 300,000 views is about to end, you know, kind of thing, but then it didn't. Is when we detach from whatever the outcome is, that's when it all turns around. It's like the clouds part and it all happens, it all works out for some reason. So to get back to that just relax thing, just relax. And it can be so difficult in the moment when we're in the eye of the hurricane, so to speak, right? But when we look back, even at whatever age you are now, no matter what it was in your life that happened, things kept rolling, you know? And actually, I just thought of a quote. Robert Frost, I was looking him up for a different reason yesterday, and I love him, and he's also a Vermont guy, right? He said, there's one thing I know for sure about life, and it can be summed up in 3 words. It goes on. Awesome. Just relax. This is Kimberly Quinn signing off from the beautiful northern Vermont. Have a mindful, very relaxing day.